David, awesome treasure lining up in race number 4. Capped off some really consistent form last start. You must have been proud the way he did it.
Really good, because he'd had 4 seconds in a row. I thought they were really honest seconds, and then that was a good win the other day against pretty competitive horses. Good barrier this week, and he's held his form.
What about the barrier and the top weight? How do you feel that's going to suit him this weekend?
I think the barrier helps a lot. He should be able to dictate. He'll be in the first 3 all the way. And if there's a bit of rain about, he can handle it. So I think he's a very competitive horse.
Keith Young, he's done a good job on the horse too, hasn't he?
Yeah, they get on very well, and the horse never runs badly for him. So I expect him to run well again.
Quick comment on Ka Ying Rising. How's he going into the weekend for his big Group 3 assignment?
Yeah, he's running out of the handicap, but I don't think he'll be potentially out of the handicap for too long. He's a pretty good horse. It's a good race, very competitive, and we'll see where we're at with him. But he's a 3-year-old, handles wet ground, in form.
Hugh, Stellar Express, you had your first ride on him the other week for John Size. He ran 4th from a good draw, but he looked like he had plenty of excuses in the straight.
Yeah, it was probably a bit of a error of judgment. I think if I had taken up the lead, he would have won the race. But that said, he went very well, and there's no reason why he can't do that again this time. So, drawn a little wider, so I don't have the luxury of that sort of really sweet draw, but the horse is in good form and should make his presence felt, I think.
Looks like he's trialled pretty well since on the all-weather.
Yeah, he feels good. He's ready to go. I mean, and he showed that in his most recent start. So, with even luck, he'll be very competitive.
You've also had success aboard Hasten Delight, who's in the same race. Was it a matter of, did you have the choice, or did you have unfinished business on the John Size Galloper?
No, unfinished business. So it was Vincent will ride Hasten Delight, who is a horse I've got a high opinion of too. When I rode him last start, he just found himself in traffic and didn't enjoy that. And although he was sort of faded out over the final stages, I wouldn't be too concerned if you're a Hasten Delight supporter. I was really pleased with him, and although he's got carry the top weight, I'm sure he's one of the main competitors.
You've got Brilliant Express in race 7 also for John Size. Makes his debut, Class 4, 1200 metres. What can you tell us about him off his most recent trial?
Well, he's a very natural running horse. He's continued to develop nicely in the trials. I think he will benefit from the race experience. I think whatever he does, he'll improve on very swiftly in time to come. But I think he's forward enough to be competitive. And again, he's going to have to it's going to be a learning curve for him. But like I said, he's very natural. He's got good gate speed, and his fitness levels are where they need to be competitive.
Does that mean you can sort of maybe put him into the race from barrier 9, a little bit of a tricky draw first up?
It's a bit tricky, but like I said, he's got natural speed, so I won't disrupt that. It's just be a case of what the others do as to where I settle down, but he's forward enough to run really, really well.
A quick comment on Invincible Sage lining up in the sprint, the Chartin Vase. How's he come on, do you think, since his Group 1 performance?
Well, he's gone to Chung Fa, so I haven't had much to do with him since he raced, but he trialled well there under Alexis Badel. He's certainly taken the necessary steps forward this season, and there's no reason why we can't continue to see that progress this weekend.
Obviously, handicap conditions makes that a bit tougher against a few younger up-and-coming horses too.
Yeah, sure, but he doesn't have to carry the top weight. With Victor, the winner there, he gets a little bit of weight relief, so look, I'm not too concerned about the weight that he's carrying, and from a good draw, the race looks to set up well for him again.
Alexis, my flying angel, he had a run at Happy Valley last time out. Did he just not handle the city circuit and maybe the rain-affected track that night?
I think a bit of both, and he came from a wide gate. It was very difficult, a lot of pressure in the race. We know that Happy Valley for the young horses, sometimes when they're not totally acclimatized to Hong Kong, can be difficult, so I'll forgive him for that. What
did you make of his run at Chartin 2 starts ago when he ran 4th and was up on the pace?
That was a good run, and I think I'm hopeful he can repeat that performance, and he's been trialling very well since, so I'm expecting him to run well.
Is it going to make it difficult from maybe the wide draw this week? Do you have to go forward with him, or is there option to go back as well?
No, I think he's improved in his manners and his focus and concentration into races. So I think he'll begin well, and I'll judge the pace. There's no obligation.
You mentioned that trial before. He looked pretty impressive on the all-weather at Charlton a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, he's a horse that got abilities, and he should, from this handicap mark, he should be able to do well.
Ben Losschild lines up late in the day for Michael Chang. He's been very consistent. How do you feel about him this weekend with the light weight, and he is obviously eligible for something easier too?
Yeah, for sure, Tom. It's my third ride on him, so hopefully third time lucky. He's been racing fantastic. The form out of each of his runs and his racing defeats has been strong. Equally finishing behind Patcha Theta at his latest, he lost no admirers, so he comes in with a nice light weight. Barrier 5, which he jumped from last time, it really helps, I think, give himself his best chance at breaking through at Class 3. I think he doesn't have to really go much better to race as he is, and if we can use the draw and have less ground to make up, he's going to be right there late.
He looks like he should get a pretty good run through from that draw, doesn't he?
He does. He's